To request a copy of a report already made, press 5. For agencies,
this is McKinnon Law Firm at 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-69. This is McKinnon Law Firm in Mills Lake, Washington. This policy, regulation, service, and authorization for the executive order Donald J. Trump, the 47th President of the United States of America, carrying authorization and service executive order. Any of the services they provide. McKinnon Law Firm, 509-765-4451, fax 509-765-6019. You know, and doing the download from an oil company called Conoco Phillips on Stratford Road in Mills Lake, Washington. You know, providing trillions, millions of gallons, producing millions and $1 trillion of profit from an oil company, a refinery, unleaded, diesel, and regular, and also jet fuel. The jet fuel is used to take the biodegradable fuel, synthesize it into more quality fuel, and then keep it moistured and keep it synthesized, meaning this diesel fuel doesn't freeze. The diesel fuel is liquidized and it's circulated. The diesel fuel is dipped with kerosene and fertilized, filtered with kerosene to keep the fuel at an upgrade optimal level, to keep it not gelled up, meaning a freezing point. That means anything at -30, -20, -40 degrees. If that happens, it has a biodegradable ingredient to keep that diesel fuel liquidized, not frozen, not gelled up. The aviation fuel that's inside the jet engine is transported to stop that from gelling up, freezing up, the jet fuel to freeze up, just like diesel, like unleaded, regular. Diesel and jet fuel are, they're different component combustibles, and they're high grade, more explosive, more combustion, more accelerant, more these accelerants and service, these mixture biodegradables keeps it from gelling up. So we're at the Stratford Road in Moses Lake, Washington, and put it on YouTube URL. The Musk does not own the Seattle, don't own Washington, Nebraska, Texas, California, or Arizona. Those 5 borders, those 5 states, those 5 borders that goes all the way through 5 states of the United States of America, including California, Texas, Arizona, and also Arizona, Texas, California, and also Nebraska. These locations are harboring ISIS, Taliban members, border jumpers, which have been demonstrated, and Al Qaeda. Now Al Qaeda, and also ISIS and Taliban members. Now Al Qaeda is a policy, regulation, and service that's been authorized by George Bush Sr. and Jr. and Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter, which is the canal ditch, the Panama Canal access points, just like Greenland, where they noticed that China and Russia and all these ships and harboring criminal convicts and harboring terrorists and anti-socialist services to come in a war campaign on our land and drop bombs, create bombs, bring nuclear handmade Unabombers, and bring biological warfare into our United States soil. Now, McKinnon Law Firm at 509-765-4451. We got a white vehicle that was transported down the Trump to the Red Line. And the red line in Richland, there's a red line in Tri-Cities, Washington. And the Kennedy building called 825 Jadwin. That's Ryan Lutzkin, Norman Rodriguez, Eric I. Singer, Dano Garth from Grant County Courthouse at 35 C Street. We got on URL at Conoco on Stratford Road, the oil refinery company. Now, He's been here for 44 years experience. Mr. Andy Miller has been 50 years experience, and he's a prosecutor at 7112 Oak Island Place, Kennewick, Washington, Benton County Justice Department. Now the commissioner, the judges, Norma Rodriguez, Eric I. Singer, Norma Rodriguez, Eric I. Singer, Ryan Lutzkin, and the federal judge, Mr. Felix Barela. It says owner. It says CIMARON5INC, 1400 East Main Street. It says owner. It says CIMARON5. It says federal judge. It says UBI number 602-720-979. The federal judges and appellate judges, and also the commissioners of Benton County Justice Department, Josie Delvin, and also the commissioner, Mr. Brennan, and also Brenda, and also Clinton, and also the services at the Norma Rodriguez, Eric I. Singer, Norma Rodriguez, and Andy Miller, Ryan Lutzkin, City Mayor of Richland, and Mr. Eric D. Olson Homes, the owner of Sun Basin Properties, Olson Homes Properties in Othello, Washington, and Tri-Cities, Washington. People that issue out the titles for the homes and services and the policy regulation at the Bob Ferguson's office, Attorney General office, at the Social Security office, and also the Natural Propane Company, and also the Escrow American Title Company, and also the Clifton Accounting Office, which is the main business offices in Kennewick, Washington. Now, HAPA Credit Union, Giza, and also the Service and Policy Regulation they have for the Policy Regulation Direct Deposit, STCU, Federal Credit Unions, trying to stop a deposit. So we got this van here to do a direct deposit, like we did drive Mr. Donald Trump to the Red Lion in Kennewick, Washington. Ownership of the tables, the chairs, the conference rooms, the Wi-Fi services, the towels, the bathrooms, the queen-size beds, double queen-size beds, the breakfast, the brunch, lunch, dinner, and also services of transport service at the Red Lion in Richland and Kennewick, and also the Tri-City Airport called Pasco Red Lion. Now, there's a HAPO Credit Union across the street, and there's also a Giza Credit Union. HAPO is right across from Red Lion. For direct deposit, Mr. Donald J. Trump, we got the Kennewick Clearwater HAPO business office right in the smack middle of the main 395 for transport. The Columbia Center Mall has a Bank of America across the street, and there's also a gigantic Columbia Center Mall and law firm called McKinnon Law Firm Flem Memmerman office across the street from the Red Lion. Now, the Benton County Justice Department at 712 Oak Island Place, Kennewick, Washington, Eric I. Singer, Norma Rodriguez, Eric I. Singer, and Ryan Lutzkin, and the mayor and the federal courthouse at 825 Jadwin, where you have to do the prominent download submitting information, carrying the executive order Donald J. Trump, John Luke McKinnon, Carla McKinnon, Virginia McKinnon, and also Mr. John Luke McKinnon. 7047 519 765 4451, fax 519 765 1619. We got a download submitting information. We got this conventional download submitting since the oil company in Moslick, Wasson, Stratfordville. We got the Manhattan right on the downtown New York and Wall Street, not too far from the residential, and there's a park across the street. This is Donald Trump, Melania Trump, Eric Trump Jr., Tiffany Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Melania Trump, Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, Tiffany Trump. This is a downtown Verizon company right on Wall Street, not too far from Mellon. Now, well, there's Wall Street and there's Mellon, and there's a Verizon company that was paid for off because Bill Gates, former Bill Gates, the owner of Bill Gates' 1835 cemetery residence, the place that the body content of deed and the service and policy of Donald Trump, his aviation jet plane, the Trump, which is Air Force, Microsoft component services that's been used as a campaign from all the way from 2000 to 2004, 2025 of January of the 20th of January. On the 20th of January, that policy regulation and service at a McKenna law firm, 519-765-4551, that's fax confirmation verification, policy regulation and services. And also we got Annabella K. Annabella K. Bole Bole Alchi K. Bole Bole Alchi K, which is CIMARON5INC at 1400 East Main Street, Othello, Washington. Now, Bole Bole Alchi K means Annabella K. Now, Annabella K is Annabella Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Melania Trump. You got Melania Trump, Donald Trump, Tiffany Trump, Laura Trump, Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump, and then got Bole Bole Achi K, means Alabella K. Alabella K Trump. Bole 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 Achi K Trump. Bole Bole Achi K Trump. Now, Bole Bole Achi K Trump means Annabella K. Now, that 42 C Street, George Washington House, Bole Bole Achi K Trump means Annabella K has a residence and service because Ivanka Trump had her pregnancy. Yeah, she had a pregnancy, and then Bole Bole Achi K Trump was born. Now, number 42, Mike Celtic and Brooks Athletic Club at Freda, Washington. That's Freda, Washington, 98823. That's 98823 at Grant County Courthouse, C Street, Northwest. Freda, Washington, 98823. Now, Bole Bole Achi K, that's Bella K Trump, Tiffany Trump, Laura Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Melania Trump, and also don't forget Donald Trump, Senior and Junior, and also Bole Bole Achi K. That's Annabella K. Trump. The service that we have in Melania Trump. The service that they have, activation service of Verizon, that was paid for, and all the Microsoft components, and also Apple was purchased because Microsoft bought Apple. We got a photo of Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan, the National Republican Committee. The National Republican Committee for Mr. Gerald A. Ford, Jimmy Carter, and also Richard Nixon, shaking hands and also applying to be the President of the United States of America and running for the 47th and becoming the 47th President of the United States of America. And of course, we got Bill Gates. We have to download this at the oil company because former Bill Gates, 1835 73rd Avenue, Microsoft company, because they broke our window here at McKenna Law Firm. And then they came in our house and broke my laptop for the second time. Same laptop, a white laptop HP. High-speed process octopus processor, and it's a Harvard. It's a very high-speed internet computer. It's like a Surface Microsoft laptop, basically, with white policy regulation service that paid for, and has drivers, components, Microsoft Windows 10, 11. Went in our office and smashed it, just like my phone. Again, this will be like the fifth time, and then I have to go and call the Tri-Cities and go to Tri-Cities and go get another phone from Verizon at Columbia Center Mall because it's active and I have to get it replaced. McKenna Law Firm, a policy regulation of a direct deposit at a law firm, carrying a component and service and the Microsoft components that we have here. At a law firm that expected to be a presidential primary election and figured that they be able to stop me from going to Tri-Cities, Washington, before the 20th or after the 20th. But we got a vehicle out here in the van. We transport all the way to the straight to Columbia Center Mall, straight to the red line. You know, Air Force One doomsday plane. Carry the executive order and doing this presidential primary election. Of course, we got Senator McCain and Be Honesty, Mr. Andy Miller, with him, Norman J. Mattis at 712 Oakland Place, Kennewick, Washington, 99336. Making witnesses, Mr. John Luke McKinnon, Carla McKinnon, Virginia McKinnon at 703 Olive, and the George Washington House. Annabella K. Trump at 42 C Street Northwest, Mr. Mike Celtic. Downloading Mike Celtic and his service and policy regulation and YouTube URL. Submitting that information on URL YouTube, Mr. Norman J. Mattis. Executive order, Mr. Senator McCain and Megan McCain at Arizona. So Musk don't own the Microsoft company and also the jet fuel and oil refinery and also that white vehicle that's parked outside, since we had to tow the towing company and had ownership in their service and drag him into the Grant County courthouse because the ownership, the services, they don't own the property. They own the McKenna Law Firm. They don't own Tri-Cities, Washington, and the residents in Mar-a-Lago, Bill Gates Estates, the policy components. This window at the McKenna Law Firm, the locks, the keys, the tumblers. We got to go locksmith and record the locksmith, and that's Jim Locksmith on Broadway, and then the locksmith and the components of the service of Basin Locksmith across from the GTA in Moses Lake, Washington, that connects to the BFT, Ben Franklin Transit Center. We bought that bus pass. We bought that bus pass for that whole gigantic year, and that's July 13th of 2020 for Donald Trump's assassination. And bringing that terminal and service in John Luke McKinnon's and Conlon and Mr. Andy Miller and Mr. Daniel Garth being ran over and stuff and that so forth in front of Daniel Garth to prosecute 44 years of experience and then 50 years of Andy Miller's experience, and then Mr. John Luke McKinnon, Carla McKinnon downloading that submitted information. And this is Norman J. Mattis, the Defense Department, and also the Pentagon Service, and also the Administrator General, and then elected at appointee in service in Mr. 45th former 47th President of the United States of America, and bring in testimony. Donald J. Trump, the former 45th President of the United States, now 47th President of the United States of America. Now bringing that policy regulation to its successors on January 20, 2025, bringing much of that testimony. And of course, Manhattan, New York, bringing that testimony of the Verizon products where we activate Ivanka Trump's phone and his processor, and the home phone, the business phone, business license, UBI number 602-720-979. And then the jewelry store at Miller's Jewelry Store put on YouTube, URL, pictures, photographs, video, YouTube, and policy regulations and services. And this is the Manhattan residence, and the service number 72 and 40. That's 90210. And there's a KISS sign on the doorway, and also on the entranceway. And there's closets, manufacturing, there's all kinds of services because Ivanka Trump's Ivanka Trump's house room. And they broke the window here, if you notice. And Alabama K. Trump, Bully HK, brings the much of the testimony and service. So that means Annabella K. Trump, George Washington's number for Mr. Brooks Athletic, Mike Celtic at the Brooks Athletic Club number 42. Now figure, number 42. And then they come off and break the window out with a brick, bringing accessories and service through there. Much of the service that's been disrupted in such of a way, bringing a campaign to successors and figuring out that they get away with, murder, bringing saturated service and bringing administration office to administration office in the McKenna Law Firm, presidential primary election, and bringing much of the testimony and service of the law firm here at the McKenna Law Firm at 519-765-4451, fax 519-765-6019, fax 519-765-6019, 65-6019, the executive order. 509-765-6019, the executive order. Now the policies being implemented, amendments and policy regulations served here at John Luke McKinnon's office. And McKinnon Law Firm at 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-6019, the executive order. You know, the service at the McKinnon Law Firm, bringing much of the testimony of the service at the McKinnon Law Firm at 509-765-4451. Fax 509-765-6019. Now bringing testimony. We have to take this John Luke McKinnon and bring testimony of how we're going to be transported. We got this white van, see this white van is witnesses and testimonies of the Social Security office from Cincinnati, at Kennewick, Washington, and Hapo Credit Union, and Giza Credit Union, and STCU Credit Union. This van here transported a direct deposit into a vault with vault keys, and also services at a McKinnon Law Firm at 509-765-4451. And then adjacent to that, we got to go to the McKinnon Law Firm, by transport, by fuel from ExxonMobil, called Conoco, and bring that title to a law firm at an administration office at 509-765-4451, and then fax it, and then use the phone and also our computer network systems and submit the payments and services and direct deposit at Giza STCU and also Hapo Credit Union in Clearwater, Kennewick, Washington. Trying to stop us for getting our phone repaired, a business license, a business phone, a caller ID. Figure that the policy regulation of activation or services interrupt the campaign in such a way that bringing chaos and service and policy regulation of a direct deposit to Tri-Cities, Washington. Now, BFT purchased for July 13, 2000, and also a DeWalt that was purchased. And then they come in and bring testimony in their service and their witness in their service, how they bring eradicating information in their service and trying to block their service in such a way with their fraudulent service and increments of the side of ownership when the title don't belong to them in any way, shape, or form. It's printed out on a laptop here, 704 Olive. So we print out the law firm title out here and then issue out the document. At a law firm in Moslake, Washington. It carries the executive order. Now, the executive order at McKinnon Law Firm at 509-765-4451, fax 509-765-6019, amplifies the effect of a direct deposit. Trying to stop a deposit to manufacture records and service, coming and breaking a laptop one way. And then trying to handicap and disable a system, a Microsoft computer system at Best Buy, Office Max. And then try to stop a deposit. Then purchasing a transaction report, receiving a transaction report, stopping to infiltrate a policy regulation by President Donald J. Trump. See how they threw a brick through the window. They threw a brick through the window. There's a brick to the doorway into the brick, and then took credit cards, checkbooks, IDs, Social Security, driver's license, CDL, and man, you'll have to go in person. Let the Grant County Courthouse at C Street and have printouts out of Grant County Computer 1 and Grant County Courtroom, which are attached to it, Superior District Court, and also appeals in Zoom and law firms administration office to Grant County Courtroom Computer 1 and Grant County Courtroom Computer 2 to have the computers and saturated services in them. And then went to the Social Security office, came back. They come here trying to say they changed locks and got ownership and service and policy regulations and a law firm and the authorization. When I bring all the statements and all the pay stubs in the Social Security office on YouTube URL and go to Teresa Saylor's office, which is Sarah McLean, attorney representatives for Bar Associate Mr. Bob Ferguson. He's the governor of Washington State now. Jay Inslee has been booted out of Washington State because Bob Ferguson is the Attorney General of Service to the Washington Bar Association in Kennewick, Washington. He became a president of Affidavit and Policy Regulation and Service of the United States of America, presenting evidence against former President of the United States of America and bringing the United States of America to a direct EFT transaction and policy regulation and service at an administration office. That brings that affidavit to how corrupted they are at 704. So, you know, how they come and bring their managers' services and have their interviews done in person and policy regulations and bring much of their testimony and services at a law firm, recording the YouTube URL inside the office. How we have the windows saturated with damage, the carpet, and we have to replace the carpet and go to WorkSource Pro Build, go to first choice, call it Pro Build. That's first choice. Lumber and Othello, and have transport and get a quote and put them on video. To put everything into perspective and download all that information, submit that information, and put it on computer system and database and service and policy regulation in the McKenna Law Firm at 509-765-4551, fax 509-765-6019. See, we got the official document and ownership on the policy regulation of a direct deposit. Occurrence of how they break into law firm and bring testimony and service to a law firm. Because former President of the United States of America is fully aware of what the components are of administration office of a direct deposit. Because putting that picture at the Grant County Courthouse and bringing the administration office to its successors at McKenna Law Firm at 509-765-4451, fax 509-765-6019. How we come to the Social Security office with Bob Ferguson, attorney for Washington State, Judy Warnick, Mr. Dent, Mr. Bob Ferguson, the governor of Washington State. All the Washingtonians voted for Bob Ferguson. The Sway, Microsoft Components and Services, and then Mr. Donald J. Trump. International Airport, we got the Larson Air Force Base on Sway. We got the Components and Services, the deeds of Sunset Acres at Highway 17, Highway 26 overpass, 22 West 2100 in Othello, Washington. A rectangular shaped anchorage area, gigantic property, a gigantic pond, gigantic waterline, pump house, and also land that stretches all the way to Adams County, to all the way to Pasco, Franklin County, all the way to Benton County, all the way to Grant County. So McCann Law Firm is in Tri-Cities, Washington, and McCann Law Firm is in Moses Lake, Washington. So that's Grant County and Tri-Cities area. So that's Pasco, Kennewick, Richland, and also Grant County, and also Adams County. So the entire property have to go to Bob Ferguson's office, because we have Mr. and Mrs. Carla and John Luke McKinnon in this office for damages. The window, the accessories, doing the bids, doing the transport services, going to a fuel company. See the window, how they threw this brick at me through this window, hoping they get a reaction, and hopefully they get take a case or bring a case and bring a subpoena, affidavit, and making things up. And then the towing company got sued because they seen him driving around and the sheriff deputies inside the Grant County Courthouse and the Benton County Courthouse, because we have a formal service of how they came in here and broke in here and disguised themselves, and then walked into the Grant County Courthouse and build a jail, another jail for Grant County. They break the window here, so they figure they can make a template and make an audit and service for the McCann Law Firm, figuring they can come here, take our doorway, take our locks, go to Locksmith, Basin Herald, put on video URL, and try to reverse the video and use them as pawns and as a pawn, as a offensive or defensive move on a procedure of affidavit of seizing funds or seizing a house or seizing service. There's no way you can do that because Felix Barela has no record, has no criminal activities, has no any kind of tickets, citations, any kind of criminal activities, no affiliations with any kind of policy, regulation, and services. As you can see, ISIS, Taliban members. There's exercise their rights of Al-Qaeda leaders, and also there's services of Iranians pertaining nuclear deterrent and taking files and prints to build a nuclear facility, to build nuclear arm race, to launch a nuclear attack on the United States of America, with superseding the harboring of Greenland. And Mr. Donald Trump is going through the area and notice there's ships in the harbor which are harboring Al-Qaeda, ISIS. In the Canada area, and the Canada Exporting Service is the North American continent, which is Canada, and Canada is connected to North America and becoming a 51 state area, bringing a bonding to the North America for the resources to save lives, to save more lives. That lives that have been at a 3,000 number of dead people, as Mr. Donald Trump recited on YouTube URL and Policy Regulations Authorization. And then former Donald Trump, Mr. Bill Gates, bringing his testimony. Bill Gates. of how corrupted they are here in the United States of America. Bringing the United States of America involved with a broken window, and then bringing the 2000 election to a ruckus, thinking they're going to run down all these opportunity of successors of bringing the administration office to downloaded, submitted information, because Mr. John McKinnon, Bill Gates, former Bill Gates, former William H. Gates, involved with a broken window, and Microsoft components are breaking in here since Trump jet belonged to Bill Gates. So transporting that, Bill Gates and Donald Trump, Musk is not the owner for one way or another, because we have a cause of the reason of what and when and where a direct deposit EFT transaction that has hardcore material that brings the administration office to its enemies, far and near and close and residential. Now, the policy regulation McKenna Law Firm, 509-765-4451, fax 509-765-6019. Now, 1837 73rd Avenue, Medina, Bill Gates carries this policy regulation services. Now, Bill Gates and Donald Trump has agreement. No bars hold. See, this ratification of this policy regulations of this refuge of criminal activities, ISIS, Taliban members, and Al Qaeda, and also Iranians, and policy regulations superseding into India, Bole Atk, which is recognized as Bella K. Trump. Now, that's been exercised as a policy regulation service, as an executive order. And they're going to make it exact policy regulation of how 704 Olive was attacked in such a way in Tri-Cities, Washington. Since Tri-Cities, Pasco, Richland, and Kennewick, and also Grant County and Adams County, is all put up into a connection of property that's been paid for in full. Going to a Social Security office and URL, Bob Ferguson, the governor of Washington State, for all Washingtonians, Judith Warnick, Patty Murray, Mrs. Mary Cantwell, and Mr. Dent. We're going to make a bond and services here in policy here in Washington State, binding by this, and making perfect policy regulation of the July 13th of the purchase and transaction, what has his assassination plot, and Donald Trump was saying he was shot, and he was treated like a no other, misused as a political offensive, defensive move in political parties. Now he's the president of the United States. He has the right to speak, the right to talk, the right to defend himself in such of a way that he was used as a political movement in the society and the political society, and also through all countries and foreign nations, to override and policy regulation of a broken window, and also a broken laptop, and also the property of Verizon, ownership of Verizon, Apple company, and bringing documents and services at Grant County Courthouse, number 1, quote, Computer 1 and Computer 2 at Grant County Courthouse, Superior District, and Federal Court Services. So they come here and make things up and change locks out, and come here and put a suit and tie on, disguise themselves, and park that white vehicle outside, and just try to go to Tri-Cities, Washington, to do a video URL modification service and make things up. Since we got that video, and they try erasing that video every way, shape, and form in their power. State file number is 146-1972-034775. First name Felix, last name Barela. October 21st, 1972, 10:41 a.m. Place, birth, city, county, state, Richland, Benton County, Washington. Facility is Cadillac Hospital. Roberta Hernandez is Nebraska. Juan Barela, Texas. And that's 30 years in Nebraska and 32 years in Texas. See, we got Arizona, we got California making witnesses and testimony. We got Geelong Culture License Department. Phone 509-754-2011, extension 2738. 509-754-6081 is a fax. License Department, Grant County Courthouse, 35 C Street, Northwest, P.O. Box 37, Freda, Washington. We got Barbara J. Vasquez, CMC, Grant County Courthouse, 509-754-2011, extension 2928. That's 509-754-6019, fax, Grant County Courthouse. We got Grant County Auditor, Kalen, Election Administrator, 509-754-201, extension 277, Election Department, 35 C Street, Northwest. Fax, 509-982-1303. We got the Washington Farm Bill, Felix Barela, 4011314A. We got the CIMARON5INC, Ajmer Singh at 1400 Main Street, Othello, Washington. That's Andy Miller. Attorney's Office, 7112 Okanine Place, Kennewick, Washington, 509-735-3591. That's a match. Because we got Prosecuting Attorney Office, Andy Miller, prosecute 7112 Okanine Place, Kennewick, Washington. Building A, Kennewick, Washington, 509-735-351. That's 509-735-3591. You got John Lou McKinnon, 509-765-4451. Fax, 509-765-6019. John Lou McKinnon, Professional Service Corp. We got Sarah McLean, Attorney Assistant Attorney, 8127. That's 8127 West Climate Court, Building 6, Suite A, Kennewick, Washington, 9936, 509-734. That's 509-734. It's 509-734-7285. Fax, 509-734-7290. That's Sarah McLean, M2. That's Sarah M2 at ATG.gov. Website, www.atg.gov. Bob Ferguson. See, that's the governor of Washington State now. See, we have the guide for counsel cases argued before Supreme Court of the United States of America. October of 2024. Signed. Faxed. We got the Grant County Health Department. This is Grant County Health District, 1038 West Ivy, Moses Lake, Washington. Phone number 509-766-7970. Monday, January 6, 2025 at 12:24 and 26 p.m. Birth certificate, quality, Felix Barela, HD vital records, and also expediting fee. Grant County Court, Grant County Health District, 1038 West Ivy, Moses Lake, Washington, 99837. 509-766-797-7960. Birth certificate. Grant County Health District, 1038 West Ivy Avenue, Moses Lake, Washington, 98837. That's signed, Felix Barela, Andy Miller, Dano Garth, Norma Rodriguez, Eric I. Singer, Ryan Ludskin, 7112 Okanine Place, Kennewick, Washington, 99336. Signed. Signed, Felix Barela, January 6th of 2025. The Health Information Credit Report Security Freeze. Signed by Felix Barela. This is the information on credit report freezes and also security report freezes and also people that security freeze. This is Washington State Secretary of State Corporations, McKenna Law Firm PS Corp., John Luke McKenna, 70 West Olive, Moses Lake, Washington. This is physical overnight address, 801 Capitol Way South, Olympia, Washington, 98501/1226. Mailing address, P.O. Box 40234, Olympia, Washington, 98504-0234. Telephone 360-725-0377. www.sos.gov Corps. This is January 1st, the File Beneficial Ownership Report and U.S. Treasury Financial Enforcement, Newport Financial Business Inform Signature January 1st of 2024 and January 1st of 2025. This UBI number is 602-678-475. That's 602-678-475. Ken Law Firm PS Corp. This is prepared by the Clerk of the Court of the Supreme Court of the United States, 1st Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20543. WDS Supreme Court WAGov. Signed. This is the Grant County Auditor, the Grant County Election Campaign, Barbara Vasquez from CMC Grant County Courthouse, Sarah McClaint, Andy Miller, Washington State Prosecutor, Dana Garth, Eric Isinger, Norma Rodriguez, and also CIMARON5INC. That's Amir and Nindu at 14 years Main Street, and Mr. John Luke McKenna. Prepared by the Clerk of Court, Supreme Court of the United States, 1st Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., 20543. Business license. Department of a License, Department Notary Program, P.O. Box 3777. Beautiful man. John Luke McKenna, 519-765-4451. Andy Miller, Washington State Prosecutor, and on the Washington State Farm Bill. That's Adams County, 4011314A. The Washington State Department of License and Business Profession Divisions and Certificate of Business named below. Signed, Felix Barela. John Luke McKenna. License number is 2011-752. That's 2011-7529. License number 2011-7529. Issued out September 25th, 2024. Expires October 1st, 2028. Signed, J. Inslee, Governor. Steve Hobbs, Secretary of State. Marcus J. Glasper, Department of License. That's Teresa Bringston and Marcus J. Glasper. Steve Hobbs and Mr. Bob Ferguson. And Mr. Steve Hobbs and Secretary of State Kim Wayman, Jay Inslee, and Bob Ferguson, the Governor of Washington State of 2020, 2021, of 2025. The year is 2025. The month is January of 2020 and January of 2021 of the year of 2025. This is a law firm that carries a policy, regulation, service of their affidavit that's been brought such a way, bringing testimony, how the executive orders are signed and brought to administration office in the McKenna Law Firm, and brought executive orders by the President of the United States of America. It brings Constitution of the United States of America. The Constitution of the United States of America. Articles 1, Articles 2. We, the people of the United States, in order. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. endure domestic tranquility, provide common defense, and promote general welfare and secure blessing of liberty of ourselves as prosperity, and ordain and establish Constitution of the United States of America. Article 1. Congress shall make law respecting established in religion, all prohibiting exercise, therefore abridge freedom of speech and the press and the right people peaceful and assembly of at a petition of the government for readdressing the grievance. Amendment 2 will regulate militia being necessary and secretary for free state and right and people to keep bear arms and shall be infringed. Amendment 3 no soldier shall have the time of peace accordingly in a house, and also consent of the owner, nor to the war of manner prescribed by the law. Amendment 4 the right to people to secure, preserve the house, papers, and effect against unreasonable researches and seizures to be not violated. No warrants shall be issued upon the probable cause or support the oath of affirmation for terms describing a place and search of persons and things to be seized. So you got that affirmative action in such a way. You got Washington State, Mr. Bill Gates, now flying that jet, making Donald Trump an individual and making witnesses in his transport with Bill Gates and that jet owned by Bill Gates and golden connection by Bill Gates and Mr. Former President 45th, 47th. Buying that YouTube service of Microsoft components. Musk don't own the property, don't own the aviation fuel and the jet engine that you confirm. And the receipt that was paid for.